This is the best Ferrari I've ever driven. Oh, and that's saying something. Beneath that bonnet, you will find the most powerful Ferrari road car engine ever. It's even more powerful than the V12 in the LaFerrari. This is the 812 Competizione. It belongs to the same family as the 599 GTO and the F12 TDF. Very special front-engined V12 Ferraris. This car is littered with interesting technical details, so we'll run through a few of those before we head out on track here at Fiorano.
Remember to head over to PistonHeads.com after watching this video to research and buy your next car.
Some Ferraris are styled to look very pretty, others are much more functional. This clearly is one of those. Compared to the regular 812 Superfast, this Competizione needs more air to breathe, it has to produce more downforce, and it needs more air for cooling as well. That's why you see how different it looks to the Superfast. You've got these enormous intakes here, and this new blade across the bonnet. And if you come round to the side, you can see vents here as well. They're all drawing air away from the brakes, out of the engine bay, and down here into the brakes to keep those cool. There's so much going on with the aero on this car, all the way down the side as well. At the rear axle, there's a very, very clever rear wheel steering system. It's independent rear wheel steering. Ferrari says that's a world first. On every other rear wheel steering system, the rear wheels have to do the same thing. Ferrari says it's much better if you can make just one of the rear wheels do something and the other one do something slightly different. It's more precise, it makes the car more responsive, it makes it more stable. The whole point of it is to make the rear axle follow the front axle more faithfully, and that's what this system does. It will even, when you're coming into a braking zone, the rear wheels will toe in together to make the car more stable. How clever is that? We see more of the aero stuff going on at the back here. These three cuts out of the bodywork that feed into these flicks here. That's just to create more downforce. The exhausts now are way out to the side so that they can fit this enormous diffuser. There's also a much more prominent full-width spoiler across the back here. And check out the rear lights, sort of recessed into this panel so that it almost has eyebrows. It makes it look very different to any other 812. The rear screen, that's gone. You don't need a rear screen apparently. There's a camera here, and the rear view mirror is now a digital display. The point being, they can use this panel and these vortex generators to create more downforce. They don't make downforce, but they create vortices that make this spoiler more effective.
To make the 6.5 litre V12 spin to 9,500 RPM, Ferrari has fitted titanium conrods, replacing the steel items used by other 812s, and reduced friction by fitting piston pins with a very slippery diamond-like carbon coating. The cams have that coating too, and so do the new sliding finger followers that actuate the valve stems. That diamond-like carbon coating means less friction and even higher engine speeds. There's also a new, rebalanced crankshaft that's 3% lighter. The overall weight saving compared to the 812 Superfast is 38 kilograms, thanks in part to more exterior carbon fibre. The car weighs just under 1,500 kilograms dry with all lightweight options, meaning 1,700 kilograms or so out on the road with a driver.
Right then, 812 Competizione. I hope you can hear me over the sound of this V12. I've done a handful of quickish laps. Now I've got 3 or 4 to tell you what this car's like to drive. When I started driving, it was much cooler this morning. The track was cold, there was no temperature in the tyres, and it was lively. It took a good couple of laps to get the tyres up to temperature. So this first one I think will be slightly cautious, let those temperatures come up again. Then we'll get on with it. No surprise, I have to say, this thing is spectacularly good. It is unbelievable how cohesive it feels. It's got 830 horsepower a front-engine, rear-wheel drive supercar, it should be the scariest thing going, and yet it just isn't. It gives you so much confidence. That's the totally confounding thing about this car. It should reduce you just to a quivering wreck, but it doesn't. Once you've got some tyre temperature, you lean on the chassis so hard. These Cup 2R tyres, once they're up to temperature, the grip is unbelievable. Through the long sweeping corners here at Fiorano, you just lean on the chassis with everything you've got. It's a big braking zone there. Brakes are strong, massive carbon ceramics with the calipers off the SF90 Stradale. It's this long right-hander into the long left-hander where you feel the grip and the balance. The balance is unbelievable for a front-engine car. That's what stands out. It feels like a mid-engine car. And you just drive it like a mid-engine car. You're not aware of the rear axle steering doing its thing, of the two rear wheels doing separate things. Of course you're not aware. But you are aware of how cohesive the car feels, how well connected the two axles feel. How have they done that? It's incredible. You have so much confidence, it steers well. It's not super flighty, hyperactive steering. It's intuitive. Wow, that engine, let's talk about the engine. Oh my goodness me, even with a helmet on. Whew, 9,500 RPM. It pulls so hard. This is a proper Ferrari engine. The performance is out of this world. How aggressive, how dramatic the power delivery is. I'm not sure I've ever driven a better internal combustion engine than this one. Gearbox is mighty, so quick. Wow. This is the best Ferrari I've ever driven. Oh, and that's saying something. Wow, this engine. 9,500 RPM. You need one of these engines in your lives, I promise you. The chassis is just as good though. Some cars are so special and so exciting that they leave you just coursing with adrenaline. This 812 Competizione is absolutely one of those. One of the most exciting road cars I've ever come across. My favourite Ferrari. I've only done 6 or 7 quick laps in this car, but I'm calling it. This is my favourite Ferrari ever. I cannot believe they've made something with one driven axle, 830 horsepower, and an engine up front handle as sweetly as this. The confidence it gives you. Wow, this is really special, this car. If you've got one on order, I'm extremely jealous of you.
You learn only so much about a car in 4 or 5 quick laps of a shortish circuit. I can't tell you anything about how it drives on a bumpy road, but at Fiorano it was sensational. It combines the best front-engine chassis I've come across, one that doesn't seem to understeer ever, but without feeling spiky or vicious, with the best road car engine on sale today. Chassis and engine in perfect harmony. That's what makes this car so special. Ferrari will build 999 of them, plus another 599 Targas. Prices start at around £430,000, and they're all sold out. Quite right too, because the 812 Competizione is a masterpiece. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the PistonHeads YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up.